enough already. Let's get this video started. Music in videos always felt like a bit of a chicken and egg scenario. I mean, which one comes first? Do I lay down my visuals the way that I want them and then just throw a music track underneath and sort of sacrifice the control that the music gives me over the audience's emotions? Or do I throw a track down and then edit my visuals to that and sacrifice the pace and the placement of those visuals? Well, the answer is that it should be a constant dance between the music and the visuals. Sometimes you want the music to drive the scene, like maybe in a B-roll sequence or a music video, and other times you want the visuals to drive the scene, like maybe in a narrative-style short film. But regardless of whatever's driving the scene, it should still be a constant push and pull between the music and the visuals, and both can and should change throughout the construction of the scene to best suit the pace and the tone of the story. But you might be sitting there thinking, well, Tim, I know what I want the balance between my music and my visuals to be, but I have no idea how to actually edit it together and get it there. Well, that's okay, because today I've got 3 tips to help you shape your music to your visuals. Alright, so let's say you've got your visuals laid out, and you go to throw a music track under it, and oh no, it's 3 times as long. Don't worry, beat matching is going to help us. Beat matching is essentially just cutting 2 music pieces together on a beat to make the track longer whilst maintaining the pulse of the actual music. And it's super great for controlling where certain elements of the song land in the edit. I use it all the time and it has saved me in so many scenarios. For example, if I want the song to finish a bit earlier, I can just find a beat that's just a bit before where I want the song to finish and cut the clip at that point. Next, I'm going to find a beat hit near the ending and then cut on that beat as well. You want to make sure you cut right on the beat of the music, so feel free to zoom right down into that timeline and just find the exact frame, the exact second where that beat cuts. So if I delete the middle portion and then just drag those 2 clips together, the track now ends where I want it to and the beat and the pulse still sounds consistent. So a super helpful tip for this technique is to match the beat count. I like to listen a couple of bars before where I want to cut and just count with the music, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just see what count my cut is on. That way when I go to make my second cut, I can match that count and make sure that I cut on that same beat, whether it's the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4, or whatever it might be. And this just helps to ensure that musical transitions like drum fills and chord sequences get carried across, and it just sounds extra awesome. It's like something that John Williams would do. Another common problem is trying to transition between more powerful and more laid-back music. Let's say I have this epic moment in my film and I want this music to play. But then let's say right after that I have a more peaceful scene and I want this music to play. If we just align those 2 together and listen to the transition, you can hear it's really aggressive and really obvious. But don't worry, tip number 2 can help with that. Go to the effects panel and type in constant power into the search field. Go ahead and click and drag that onto the space between your 2 clips, and then you can adjust the overlap by dragging the end of that transition bar there. That way you can adjust when the transition comes in and out. Now if we play back the transition, it's a lot more smooth and subtle and far less likely to pull our audience out of the story. For bonus points, you can also use the constant power effect with the beat matching technique to make that transition smooth as well. But Tim, I have the reverse problem. I have so much footage and my music doesn't cover it. That's okay, enter the remix feature. Remix! No DJing required. Alright, click on your music track, go up to Edit, Edit in Adobe Audition and select Sequence. Click the OK button in the pop-up window and then wait for Adobe Audition to load. Whoop! The Properties tab might be hidden behind the Effects rack, so go ahead and click on that little arrow icon and then click on the Properties menu from there. Then you want to go to the Remix tab and click on Enable Remix. Wait for the timeline to be analyzed and then click on the target duration. Change the target duration to the desired length and then wait for the timeline to be analyzed again. So if we just zoom out on the timeline, you can see those zigzag marks? That is where the software has cut the music and then copied the new section in. And if we just listen over one of those transition sections, you can hear that it repeats seamlessly. Then you want to go to File, Export, and Export to Adobe Premiere Pro. Go ahead and mix it down to a stereo file to make sure you retain all the data, and then click on Export. Inside of Premiere Pro, you can click on the OK button. That's going to add our new extended music track to a new audio track. Now the music lasts as long as the visuals and it repeats seamlessly. You know that feature in all those music licensing programs where you can search for only specific duration of things? This basically just removes the need for that feature. So you're welcome. Thanks so much for watching. Always remember that it doesn't matter which one comes first, the music or the visuals, so long as you use the balance between them to tell the best possible story. Hopefully today's tips helped you out. If they did, or if you have any other music editing tips, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And whilst you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, make sure you hit that notification bell, that way you don't miss out on any future videos. And I look forward to seeing you next week Wednesday, where I may or may not be going on a cool photo shoot outside of my 5-kilometer radius because lockdown is finally over. Yes! Can you tell I'm excited for that? Alright, see you then.